with 2022 almost on the way out, I look ahead to next year and all the cool games I'll be playing. So here is my 10 games I can't wait to platinum in 2023. So first up is one that admittedly I don't really know much about it other than this cool looking trailer, and it is for a game called Atomic Heart, which is a first person shooter with action role-playing elements. So the combat apparently consists of shooting and melee swinging with improvised weapons, and you can also craft things such as weapons and piece them together from different parts and then detach them from robots or household items and build together different sort of weapons. So it's a bit of like a steampunk-y sort of thing, maybe? I don't know. But the trailer just looks really cool. It reminds me a little bit of like the sort of Bioshock sort of Art Deco sort of strange sort of world sort of vibes that I get with those games, and it just looks really interesting. You also look like you get like maybe some sort of plasmid sort of style abilities, and to be honest, I could have easily looked at this and just thought it was Bioshock. So I'm kind of hopeful for this game. Trophy wise, obviously we don't really know anything about it, but I'm just expecting the usual sort of fare with these sort of games. Finish the game, master all the weapons, get so many kills with all of the weapons, get all the abilities unlocked, those sort of things, and then just the usual sort of story-based progression trophies. So I don't really think there'll be anything too challenging with this game. It just depends whether it will make you complete it on like the hardest difficulty. That's probably the one to look out for, and I'm sure there's a load of really annoying collectibles in this game as well. But yeah, this is definitely one that I'm keeping my eye on, and I'm cautiously optimistic that this will be a pretty fun game, to be honest. I mean, look at the trailer, man. It looks fucking awesome. So yeah, my first pick is Atomic Heart. Next up is a game from a franchise that I've never really cared about, but this game kind of looks cool. It is, of course, Hogwarts Legacy, based on the Harry Potter books and movies, but in this game you don't actually play as any of those characters. I think you're playing as your own sort of character as you join the Wizarding School. So yeah, while I have no clue about Harry Potter and whatever goes on in it, this one just... it looks like a really fun single-player game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it, and if I'm going to play it, then you can guarantee I'm going to platinum it if I can. And weirdly, this one's been delayed quite a bit, I think, but the trophy list has already been revealed, so we can already get an idea of what to expect from the game. Looking at the trophies, it looks like you're going to need 100% completion for the platinum, and a lot of the trophies in the list sort of leaning towards like completion of everything that you do in the game, like the tasks and the skills and the magic abilities and stuff. There doesn't seem to be any difficulty related trophies, so if there is a difficulty mode in the game, you can just play it on easy and you'll be able to get all the trophies. You'll need to get things like all of the memories, all of the side quests done, all of the tiers of a challenge, all of the collectibles, breed all beasts, brew all potions, grow all plants, spend all talent points, all of the Flu Flames, all battle arenas, all Merlin trials, Karen dungeons, demiguise statues, using ancient magic on every enemy, which might be a bit of an awkward one if you forget which enemies you've done it on. It could easily be like that disco ball trophy in Ratchet and Clank, which was just an absolute pain because there was no in-game list to track it. So hopefully this game does have a little tick list of whenever you use the magic on enemies, so you know which ones you've got left and which ones you've done. There's also trophies for learning all of the spells and surviving all of the troll attacks, which sounds quite interesting. So yeah, it's very much just a sort of Spider-Man sort of list where you just play the game and just do everything in it and you'll get the trophies. So yeah, this one, it could be cool. There's another set of trophies for something for finding the map chamber as each of the houses, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. So that one may cause you to do multiple playthroughs, but let's hope you just do it within the first hour or something. Okay, so next up is another game I'm a little bit cautious of, and it is Forspoken, which has been shown off a lot over the past couple of years, and I still don't quite know what to make of it. It's a massive open world sort of game where you have these really cool abilities to be able to traverse through these like ancient sort of deserty sort of looking environments out in the wild, and yeah, I think it might end up being a little bit basic and a bit like a 7-8 out of 10 game. I don't think it's going to be super amazing, but I still think it'd be a fun one to play and hopefully feel like a sort of next gen game. Trophy wise, I'm just expecting the usual: complete the game, story progress trophies, unlock all of her abilities, use all of the abilities to get kills, certain amount of kills. And I'm pretty sure, as it's like an open world sort of game, that there's going to be like side quests for you to do, as well as collectibles. I imagine there's going to be multiple different types of collectibles to grab in this game, so that might become a little bit tedious. I'm hoping it's not as overloaded with collectibles like Ghostwire Tokyo was. But yeah, it could be an interesting game, or it could be a crap one, I think. This one, I could see it going either way. I think people are either going to love or hate this game, and yeah, I don't think the trophy is going to be too hard. The combat doesn't seem like it's going to be, so hardcore that it's like gonna be like a Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden sort of game. It seems quite easy and button mashy sort of thing. So yeah, I'm expecting a fairly standard, straightforward and easy sort of trophy list from this one. But yeah, it does look like a fun game. So yeah, we'll stay optimistic about that one. This next game is one that I am definitely looking forward to, and that is Alan Wake 2, because I know this game will be awesome. So I only recently played the first Alan Wake when it came to PS4 with the remastered version about 2 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. Sure, it did get a little bit repetitive towards the end because you were doing the same things over and over, and there was a lot of collectible trophies to look out for, so I did have to do 2 playthroughs. I think there was like a hard mode playthrough, which is quite tough as well, but it was such a blast to play, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm hoping the second one, because they are saying it's more of a survival horror game now, I'm hoping it ramps up the horror, and it's just really, really cool, and I hope it does well and leads to a third game, because it was a really cool story, and it was a great setting in the woods, and I just really enjoyed that first game, and I'm hoping this one will just be more of the same, but maybe with less collectibles this time, please. I don't need to do like tapes, notes, I'm sure there was like statue things, and there was like 3 or 4 different collectibles that you had to get throughout the game, and it was a lot. There was an awful lot, so I would say tone down the collectible trophies, maybe have more trophies for killing enemies in a variety of different ways, using all the weapons, maybe even a trophy where you might be able to complete the game without using the weapons, or challenging trophies like that if it's possible with how the game's designed. I mean, you might not be able to get through. Maybe you'll have like a melee weapon and you can use that instead of the pistols and stuff. But yeah, I think it'll be one that hopefully comes out in 2023, and I hope it is good. Yeah, I think it'll be another fairly easy trophy list, but I think there could be room for challenging ones there, like maybe the hardest mode trophy could be a tricky one to do. Maybe even do like, I'm not saying I want this, but do like a Dead Space 2 where there's a hardcore mode and you can only save a couple of times. Something like that might be cool to try and do in this game. But yeah, again, we don't really know what it's like at the minute. I'm just going off of what the first one was like, but I get a feeling this one won't be quite different in how it plays compared to the first one. But I'm hoping we still get like the forest environments, because that was really cool, going through the woods and things. That was a really cool setting and quite a unique setting to this game. So yeah, I'm definitely hopeful that Alan Wake 2 is going to be a must-have platinum for me in 2023. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second part of the remake. Not sure how far into the original it goes, but this one I'm hoping is good. The combat was really fun in the first remake, and I'm hoping it's just pretty much going to be more of the same, to be honest. Though I hope there's a lot less crawling through tight spaces and a lot less of the plodding slowness, and hopefully it just gets on with it. You go out into the open world and it just becomes a bigger, more cooler game. But yeah, this one, anything could happen with this game. They rewrote the history of the original, so I don't really know what to expect in terms of the story and how it's all going to go through. But I imagine the trophy list will be pretty much the same. They'll probably have that arena thing where you have to fight all the like super bosses. You have to level up your characters. There'll be the story progression ones, finding special gear, doing the side missions, all of that sort of usual Final Fantasy stuff in that. But it's definitely one that I am looking forward to and curious to see what happens in this game and how different it is. Now we get on to some of the big guns, and it is, of course, Resident Evil 4 Remake. So, Resident Evil 4 is an amazing game, and I'm pretty sure the remake is going to be almost as amazing, if not better. It could go either way, really. I hope it's more like Resi 2, in that it's a bit more faithful, because Resi 3 was just... it was an abridged version of Resi 3, so I hope this one, it does a lot more of what actually went on in Resident Evil, and it doesn't skip over a lot of sections. But yeah, this one, it's going to be a great game either way, and the trophy list is going to be that usual Resident Evil sort of trophy list, I imagine. There'll be a trophy for probably not using the item box, not using any herbs, or maybe only a handful of herbs. There'll be probably a trophy for maybe even not saving, maybe trophies for getting all the weapons, filling up your attaché case, and not having any empty slots. There'll probably be trophies for completing it on the various difficulties. There's more than likely going to be a speedrun trophy for beating it within a couple of hours, just like Resident Evil 2 and 3 had. There's more likely that hardcore mode where you can easily die, but hopefully you'll be able to cheese it a little bit by getting like an unlimited ammo rocket launcher or something for beating the game, and getting because I'm sure they're going to have that shop thing back where you can buy things with the points, and different character skins, infinite ammo for your guns, the rocket launcher, and whatever crazy weapons they put into this game. So yeah, this one, I think it'll just be another fun Resident Evil trophy list. They're some of my favourite trophy lists of the Resident Evil games, because they get you to play the game and have fun, but there's also some challenging ones there that get you to play the game in a different way that you might not even have thought was possible. Like, there might be that knife-only trophy again, where you somehow beat the entire game and all the bosses just using the knife. Something I would never have thought was possible in Resident Evil 1, because I struggled to do it with all the guns, and then when I got the remake with trophies, I went and did that, and it was great. The invisible enemies and mode and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this and seeing what challenging trophies are in there, and hopefully they are fun. There will probably be a mercenaries mode. There was also the shooting gallery thing, weren't there, in the original Resident Evil 4? Collecting all the bottle-capped characters, so I'm sure that something like that might make a return. That could be a little bit tricky, because they were quite challenging in the original, so if they come back, that might be one of the harder trophies, or at least one of the more trickier trophies anyway. But yeah, I've got high hopes for this, that it will be not only a great game, but also a great platinum journey. I think it could potentially be one of the better ones of the year, to be fair, in that it's a nice mixture of fun, unique, challenging trophies that don't overstay their welcome and make it really bullshit. So yeah, this one, Resident Evil 4 Remake, I think it's going to be great. So this next one is a game that I'm quite shocked to see on my list and so high up on it, because I haven't really played a new Assassin's Creed since Syndicate, which was the London one. And yeah, I kind of lost touch with them. I gave up on them because they were just too repetitive and too bloated with loads of pointless collectibles and side missions, and they just became too much, and it was a chore to play them every year and get the platinum. So I'd never played Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla. And this year, 2022, I went back and played Assassin's Creed 2. part of the Ezio collection, and I fell in love with the series again. It reminded me of what I loved about the game and the series, and this Mirage is supposed to be like just going back to basics Assassin's Creed, going back to the roots of what made it great. You know, you're a classic assassin, you're running on the rooftops, you're chasing bad guys, you're killing them, you know, you're assassinating people stealthily. It just feels like a classic Assassin's Creed game, and it's supposed to be shorter than what the newer Assassin's Creeds are like, because those were like 150-hour platinums that were just way too much, because it wasn't fun enough to play for that long and be in that world for that long, I don't think. So yeah, I see a lot of potential with this game, and I'm hoping it's good, and I'm sure it'll be the normal trophies in Assassin's Creed. Hopefully they don't have that 100% sync thing in the games anymore, because trying to do all the missions with all the sub requirement challenges was a right pain in some of those Assassin's Creed games back on the PS3. So hopefully that thing's been scrapped since. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be like finding all your gear, upgrading all of your abilities, the story trophies, assassinating all the targets, maybe doing certain bits stealthily and not getting seen, you know, grabbing all the collectibles, doing all the side missions, basically just seeing everything the game has to offer, I think, to be fair. Again, this is another one where it's really early days. They've only really got this trailer to go off of, so I can't really say too much. I'm sure we'll get the viewpoint trophy again for synchronising all the viewpoints and revealing all of the map. You know, there'll be the miscellaneous trophies for the combat, maybe killing people with poison darts, smoke bombs, using those, you know, hiding people in the haystacks, you know, I hope it's got all of those sort of like classic ones in there: parry enemy attacks, counter enemy attacks, kill people without getting hit, stealth kill so many people without getting seen. You know, all those sort of like classic sort of Assassin's Creed trophies. Just killing people and targets in different sort of ways as well, maybe, you know, for some of the story missions, maybe try and approach it in a couple of different ways. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I've got a lot of faith that this one will be a return to form, for me at least, in that it's an Assassin's Creed game about actual assassins and not pirates or Vikings, you know what I mean? So yeah, this one, I'm hyped for this one. I wouldn't thought I would say that again after burning out on Assassin's Creed games, but yeah, this one could easily bring me back into the fold, Ubisoft. So yeah, fingers crossed it's good, and fingers crossed the trophy list is also good. I guess we'll find out in about November. Next up is a sequel to one of my favourite games from a couple of years ago, but also one that had a really bullshit trophy in it, and that is of course Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So this follows on from Jedi Fallen Order, and it picks up with the same character, Cal Kestis, and I'm pretty sure it's just going to play a lot like that original game. It's sort of like a Dark Souls light sort of game. So yeah, I'm hyped. I'm ready for more of this game and more of these Star Wars worlds, because this, for me, was better than any of those sequel films. The story in that first game, it was great, and I wish that would have been the movies, to be fair, because it was so cool. So yeah, trophy wise, straight away, I'm hoping there's not an annoying bullshit trophy for uncovering all 100% of the maps on each planet, because that one was a right pain in the arse, because trying to uncover them, it was just awkward as hell, because you could never tell on the map which bits you hadn't been to yet. So I'm hoping if they have to put that one in, which I really hope they don't, they redesigned the maps, because they were really confusing, especially when you've been to an area and you struggled to get back to where you wanted to go in that specific area. If there was lots of entrances and exits, it was quite hard to find and navigate your way around. Other than that, I'm thinking the trophy list is going to be pretty much the same as the first game. So yeah, fingers crossed this is a good one and they fix and remove that annoying map trophy. Now we have another remake in store, which is coming quite early in 2023, and it is Dead Space the remake. So I am so happy to see this, because I'm recently, just as I make this video, because I'm doing it a little bit before Christmas, I've just played through Callisto Protocol, and I was really hyped for that, but that one just it just wasn't Dead Space, and I don't know why they insisted on the melee combat being the focus, because it was just terrible. Even when you learn how to dodge, it just pales in comparison to Dead Space. So I'm kind of really happy that EA decided to fuck over that team and bring this remake out near enough at the same time as that dev team released their game, because Dead Space 1 is an absolute classic in my opinion. I really love it, and the trophy list in the original game, it was pretty cool. There was a trophy for beating it on like the hardest difficulty, but you could save whenever you wanted in that one. It was only in 2 where you could only have like 3 saved. So I'm hoping they keep it the same as that, just purely for my heart rate and my blood pressure, because otherwise it's going to be very stressful to try and get through the game with just 3 saves. There'll be trophies for getting all the power nodes and upgrading everything, killing with all the weapons, the plasma cutter, the line gun, the plasma rifle thingy, you know, all of those weapons. There'll be getting all the audio logs, finishing the game, doing all the story trophies. I can't really think what else there sort of was, just like using the telekinesis to throw enemies into hazards, like the chainsaw blades or whatever, you know, using TK to string together moves, you know, getting sort of miscellaneous trophies for combat related things. I'm sure there'll be things like that in there. Was there like the Peng trophy? That was it, for finding the hidden Peng doll thing or whatever it was. I'm sure that'll make a return. Maybe they'll change the locations of some of the collectibles. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what the trophy list is like for this, if it just mirrors completely the original, or if they do their own thing and just add their own sort of trophies in there. We don't really know yet if there's any new modes in it, but from the video footage I've seen, it looks like a very faithful sort of remake of the original. It looks like it is that game, and they've just updated the graphics, to be fair. But I'm sure it's not. I'm sure they have made it from the ground up. So yeah, it'll be one that I'm really looking forward to revisiting, and thankfully it's out in like a couple of months. So yeah, this one I think is going to be a really fun game, and it will be another great platinum to have, because this was one of the earliest PS3 platinums I got. I think I'm sure it was within my first 10 platinums, because it was one of the ones I remember from the very beginning of my trophy hunting career, so to speak. So yeah, I'm definitely hyped for this game, and I'm looking forward to what challenges lay ahead with the trophies. I'm just hoping it doesn't have that hardcore mode from Dead Space 2, because I just want to enjoy myself. I don't want to have to stress out about trying to play the game for like 5 hours in a row without saving, only to then die when I'm about to save and have to start from the very beginning again. That wasn't fun. It felt amazing when I got it in Dead Space 2, but yeah, just spare me that one, please, at least. And finally, the game I'm most looking forward to platinuming in 2023 is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Oh yes, I absolutely loved the first Spider-Man game, and the platinum, while very simple, it was still fun to do, because it basically just required you to play the game and do everything on the map, all of the side missions, grab all of the collectibles, beat the game. I think there might have been a difficulty related trophy for beating it on hard, and then there was like a couple of tricky ones, like performing a combo of so many hits without getting hit yourself. I think it was like 100 or 150 hit combo, but for the most part it was just a really straightforward, just do everything a spider can and you'll get the platinum. And I loved it. It was such a great game. I even cried at the end. So I'm definitely hyped for this game. I hope they focus on Peter Parker more than Miles. I hope he's just got like a couple of missions, like he's the equivalent of the Mary Jane and Miles missions from the first game, and that the meat and bones of the game is Peter Parker. And I do think Miles should get the symbiote suit, and Peter has to fight him and stop him, and then at the end they both team up to fight Venom, who is more than likely gonna be Harry, maybe? Who knows? But yeah, this is my number one pick for the most hyped game that I can't wait to platinum in 2023. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing 2023, and I'll see you soon.